Hey guys, it's Robyn, your independent Scentsy consultant. Welcome back, and welcome if you're new, and happy Thanksgiving to all of our American friends who are celebrating this weekend. We have got the Bring Back My Bar voting results. So the Bring Back My Bar scents that are returning on January 1st for Bring Back My Bar, we voted on these back in July. It was a long time ago, feels like a lifetime ago, and now we have the list of what's actually coming back. So this season, Scentsy actually changed the way that they release the results for these. So typically we vote in like July and then we get the list in like September or so. This year they decided to make us wait a little bit longer, a couple months longer, to kind of, build the hype more towards when it actually comes out. Because what typically happens is we hear the list of what's coming, but it's not coming for like 3 or 4 months. So then we kind of just forget and lose interest. So I think the hope is that we'll be more excited now because it's closer to actually when it comes out. So they gave us the list hot off the press. These actually launch as a early access consultant bundle on December 1st. So right around the corner. These are available for everybody to purchase on January 1st. Another new fun little thing we have this particular round is we have a couple fragrance flowers joining the party. All right, so we have 25 bars coming back. Now they did something a little bit different as well this round, aside from just the announcement thing. 5 of these are going to be from Scentsy's very first catalog. So because this is Scentsy's 20-year anniversary year, 5 of these scents are actually from Scentsy's very first catalog. So then the other 15 are going to be ones that we voted back. And then Dan Orchard also picked 5 as well. So we have 5 from Dan, 15 that we voted on, and then 5 from the first catalog that we also voted on. So there were 2 rounds of voting back in July, one for that first 5 and then the other for the rest of the bars. All right, so the first 5 bars that are from the first catalog. The first one is Banana Nut Bread. Now, Banana Nut Bread is a very popular scent. It is one that I've had in my club since it last came back and Bring Back My Bar. It is, let me see the description here. It is just ripe bananas, nuts, and spices. It is a lovely, on the lighter side bakery, but it does do well enough in my open layout. It is a beautiful, gentle spice cake scent. It is more of a candied banana initially, but then after a couple hours that burns off and you're left with this like beautiful banana bread scent. It's gorgeous. That one, like I said, is one that is a favorite of mine and I have had it in my club for years. The next one from that first catalog is going to be Key Lime Pie. Now, Key Lime Pie, I have never personally tried or heard anything about. This one is a mouth-watering blend of coconut and lime. So coconut and lime are the notes there. The thing that kind of jumps out at me with Key Lime Pie is that there's no crust note. So I do hope personally that there is a crust note in there, but in the scent notes, there is not a crust in that Key Lime Pie. So we will see. But coconut and lime are the notes. The next one is Lucky in Love, which I have tried before. I didn't realize this was such an old scent. So Lucky in Love is sweet bouquet of mandarin, bergamot, and orange with hints of peaches and berries. And this one will be available in a fragrance flower as well, as will Banana Nut Bread. So the 2 scents that Region 1 North America are going to be getting in fragrance flowers are Banana Nut Bread and Lucky in Love. And that is the other thing. This scent list is going to be for Region 1, which is Canada, US, Mexico. I'm not sure if Mexico does Bring Back My Bar the same way Canada and the US does, but Europe and New Zealand, Australia have separate scent lists as well for Bring Back My Bar. They vote on their own separate scents. So these are just for North America. But Lucky in Love is a sweet fruity scent with a slightly perfumey spin. It's very pretty. I think the bergamot is what makes it lean just a little bit perfumey, but it does have that kind of like mandarin orange, peach berry. It's just a pretty like standard fruity, slightly perfumey scent. It is rather lovely. I would say a nice bedroom scent. The next one we have is Orange Dreamsicle. Now, Orange Dreamsicle is a classic combination of fresh orange swirled with vanilla cream. So fresh orange and vanilla cream, and I have not warmed this before or smelled it. It sounds a lot like Tangerine Creamsicle, which is in our spring-summer catalog typically. I'm very curious to compare the two and see how Orange Dreamsicle in this Bring Back My Bar compares to the catalog Tangerine Creamsicle. So that'll be interesting to compare and contrast. Then the other one that was from the first catalog is Thunderstorm. Now this one I have warmed before. This is one that reads as very floral, but there's something really lovely about it. It is a very refreshing, sharp, spicy outdoor fragrance like the breeze in a storm is what the scent description is. I would say there is a carnation or a rose here, maybe a slight bit of clove, and then a lot of ozone is what I would say it smells like. Ozone, and then florals with a little bit of a spice almost. Yeah, sharp and spicy. That is what it is. It smells like a floral cooler that is filled with carnations or something. Like it's wet and it's floral and it's a little bit spicy. It's very lovely and there's nothing else really like it. So Thunderstorm is a good one. It's also a very good performer. If you have a large, hard to scent space, Thunderstorm is going to do it. So those are the ones that are from the first catalog. So we got Banana Nut Bread, Lucky in Love, Thunderstorm, Orange Dreamsicle, and Key Lime Pie. And of those, we're getting 2 fragrance flowers, Banana Nut Bread and Lucky in Love. The rest of the scents are going to be the following. We have Bergamot and Solar Driftwood, which I believe is a fresh category scent. I have personally never smelled it, but I've heard only good things about that particular one, and I just kicked my camera stand. That one is Crisp Bergamot, Mandarin, and Dreamy Driftwood elevate fragrance to an intelligent design. So that's an interesting description. I don't think I've ever heard a description like that. So Bergamot, Mandarin, and Driftwood. A lot of Bergamot and Mandarin here. Fragrance to an intelligent design. Okay. It sounds lovely. I do tend to like Driftwood in scents, but again, more for summer. So I will say, I have seen Bring Back My Bar rounds that were less seasonally appropriate, and that tends to be the challenge we run with Bring Back My Bar voting, is that we vote 6 months ahead. So you're voting for what you want to warm 6 months from now. So in July, when we were voting, sometimes people will be picking summer scents because that's what they want to warm right then, not realizing that you're not going to be getting these until January, when it's going to be snowing and cold probably. So I do think we did a good job here this round of picking mainly, you know, like either all season or wintry type scents. There are a few summery ones here, which is fine. But sometimes it's been very winter leaning in the summer and very summer leaning in the winter, and I think we did a better balance this time. So yay everybody in voting. The next one we have here is Berry Tart, which is probably going to be a bakery scent. This is a medley of sweet berries nestled in buttery pastry topped with caramel. I've never smelled this. I've never heard anything about this. It sounds amazing, and it's one of the ones I'm most excited about this round. So Berry Tart, I didn't vote for it, I don't think, but it sounds fantastic. Cherry Clove Chutney is crushed Bing cherries, cloves, and cinnamon, which sounds like we've had quite a bit of cherry this season as well. But this sounds like a much older bar. I don't think I've ever heard anything about this one, and I've certainly never warmed it. So Cherry Clove Chutney, cherries, clove, and cinnamon. That sounds delightful. Sounds like a beautiful January scent. I'm very excited for that. Cozy Kitchen, I have had before. We had this in a brick, was it last year? This is warm up to a blissful batch of warm oats and brown sugar and a spicy cinnamon swirl. Now, Cozy Kitchen is a widely popular bar. People really, really like that one. It's a very, very like cozy bakery type scent. I would say minimal spice, but there is a little bit of spice. It is like a brown sugar oatmeal, very, very sweet. It is not my cup of tea personally, so I'm not thrilled to see it back personally, especially considering we just had it in bricks last year. So personally, I think we could have done better on that one, but I do understand that it was very popular and there were a lot of people who loved that one. So for those people, I'm glad it's coming back for you. The next one we have here is Cranberry Spice. So another berry spice scent. It looks like we're getting a lot of like spice here, which I like for January. A generous blend of cloves and ginger. You don't see a lot of ginger, so I'm happy about that. Help define the sophistication of tart cranberry. So cloves, ginger, and cranberry. That sounds like a beautiful January scent as well. Cranberry spice. The next one is Lily of the Valley. This is going to be floral. It is going to be a purple wax, very fresh and green, true to the scent of a white lily. So white lily is a very distinct scent. Lily is one of those floral notes that has a very distinct floral scent. So I'm curious to smell that. I tend to not do well with lily. It is a very strong, heady white floral. I tend to get migraines from those. Even the real lilies I have a hard time with. So that one's probably going to be an absolute no for me. But for people who like a nice lily scent, I do think that sounds like a nice choice for like early spring, Easter time, that kind of thing. Then we have Mandarin Toffee Treat. This is a bakery scent. I have warmed this before many, many, many years ago. This is sugared mandarin and sugarcane drizzled with creamy toffee butter. This one I remember being good, and I remember it being a good performer too. So if I recall correctly, it was like a mandarin toffee type scent. Very sweet, very cozy, really nice. Ode to Opulence is a dark purple wax. I have never heard anything about this scent or warmed it myself. It is lavish your... Have I? I think I might have. These notes look familiar. Lavish your senses with the sweet, evocative aroma of apricot, blood orange, coconut milk, black currant, and spiced vanilla. I'm going to have to go to my spreadsheet and look and see if I've had this before. It sounds familiar. That sounds beautiful. I like the idea of the apricot, orange, citrus piece. Then you have coconut milk to smooth it out and around it. Then black currant and spiced vanilla in the base. That sounds like a very nice, like nicely defined scent pyramid here. We have the top notes with the citrus and the apricot. We have the mid notes of the coconut milk and maybe the currant, and then the spiced vanilla in the base. I like the layering here. I think that sounds like a well put together scent. I am intrigued to smell this either for the first time or again. I can't remember which. The next one we have here is Orange Clove Pomander, which again sounds like a spiced orange, good for January. Ginger clove and vanilla make for a spicy sweet treat. Simple description, ginger clove and vanilla. So lots of kind of spice scents this round, which is nice. Pixie. This is one that I have heard a lot of people voting for, so it's good that it came back. It's a mischievous moonscape of pink pepper, mandarin, and heliotrope, deepened by exotic teakwood and vanilla oak. So lots going on here. Pink pepper, which tends to be commonly used in like perfumery. Mandarin, which again tends to pair well with pink pepper in perfumery. Heliotrope, which is a floral. It's quite a sweet floral. Kind of smells like cherry sometimes. Exotic teakwood, which tends to be a very deep wood note and also strong. And vanilla oak, which is a very different type of deep wood note. Teakwood is more of like a summery wood. Oak is more of like a fall winter wood. I'm curious. It sounds like a perfumey scent to me is what I'm picking up here. So I'm not sure what this is going to smell like. It sounds like it's going to be probably a nice like spring bedroom type scent, because I would suspect it's going to be perfumey. The next one we have here is Posy Peach. This one is fuzzy ripe peach balanced by green tendrils of violet leaf in a fragrance that hints at lazy summer days. So peach and violet leaf in Posy Peach. Now peach is tricky for people. I'm curious, like it's gonna ride or die based on what kind of peach note this is. Peach can go candy, it can go kind of sour, it can go perfumey, it can go kind of like ripe. It can go a few different ways, so it'll depend entirely on what kind of peach this is, I think. Violet leaf can be kind of like a bit of a bitter note, which can be nice in a certain type of scent. So if it's a very, very sickly sweet peach with a violet leaf to temper it, that might be okay. But yeah, it'll just depend. Posy Peach is a wild card. I'm not sure. Haven't heard anything about it before. If you have warmed that before, let us know in the comments below how it was. Pumpkin Tiramisu I have warmed before. Just one bar, one time. It was so good. I'm so glad it's back. So it's layer pumpkin with sweet brown sugar and vanilla cream for an autumn twist on a favorite Italian dessert. Pumpkin, brown sugar, and vanilla cream. This one is better than it sounds. There is a richness to this bar. It's got this like, the pumpkin in here is not too much pumpkin. The brown sugar is not like a regular brown sugar note. It's almost like a mapley brown sugar note. Like it reads a little bit mapley to my nose in the best way, in like the sweetest, best way. It's not sharp. It's just so good. It's a good one. I remember that being a very strong performer as well, and nothing is like it. That was one thing when I melted pumpkin tiramisu. I thought to myself, there is nothing I've ever smelled anywhere else that is anything like this. This is very unique, and pumpkin tiramisu is very unique. That will be a club bar for me, I'm certain. Love that one. It ages very well too. Sedona Sunset. I have never heard of this scent. I don't know anything about it. I've never warmed it. I've never heard anything about it. So this is a brand new one. This is, well, it's not brand new. It's an old scent, but it's a brand new one to me. This is just as the setting sun paints the desert sky, flamboyant desert lily and vanilla orchid enliven creamy coconut milk and ethereal jasmine, which sounds like a very, very, very floral scent rounded out with some coconut milk. That does not sound like my cup of tea whatsoever. Sounds very floral. But for floral fans, it sounds like it should be a good one. Then we have Simply Cinnamon, which is one of Dan Orchard's picks. This is warm, spicy, classic, rich, purely cinnamon. And that is the only note, is cinnamon. So that should be good. That one I think will be a good mixer as well. So Simply Cinnamon. Sizzlin' Coconut is going to be a tempting mix of cinnamon, coconut milk, and rich vanilla. Now, Sizzlin' Coconut didn't excite me when I first read the name, but now that I'm reading that there's cinnamon in here, that piques my interest a little bit more. Now it sounds like it's going to be more like a horchata type drink or something like that with coconut milk, vanilla, and cinnamon. That sounds much more appealing, and I think that's going to be good. So I'm much more intrigued now, especially for January. Adding some cinnamon to that coconut for January makes it make more sense. So the next one we have here is Snuggle Up, which I'm very glad to see. This one I have had before, and I love. It's beautiful. It is a lighter scent. You do need to do this one in like a smaller space. This is not an open layout scent. This is a bedroom scent. This would also be really nice, I think, in like a little kid's room or even a baby's room. Settle down in cashmere woods, curled up with angel lavender and soothing sage. This one is gorgeous. It's a beautiful, soft lavender. You do have to like lavender for this one. But it's a soft, sweet, really lovely done lavender. Very nice. And then we have Summer Sippin', which is another pick by Dan Orchard. This is sun-ripened raspberries and tangy lemons make you wish it were summer. So raspberries and lemons are the notes on that one, which if it's going to be like a raspberry lemonade type scent, that sounds like it could be very intriguing. And since the name is Summer Sippin', it does sound like it might be drink inspired, which could be fun. So that sounds like it could be promising. The next one is Taj Mahal. This one is a soft oriental fragrance built on a base of musk and amber with subtle florals. So musk, amber, and subtle florals, that doesn't give us a whole lot to go on except for that it's going to be perfumey and floral. So jury's out on that one. We'll have to smell it to find out. The wax is going to be kind of a periwinkle blue from the looks of the label. So Taj Mahal. If you've smelled that one in the comments below, let us know how it was, please. Because yeah, I haven't heard anything about that one except for in voting. And I haven't smelled it myself. Then we have Thunderstorm. Like I said, that one is a good one. And Woolly Slippers. Now this is one I can't remember. I don't think I've tried Woolly Slippers. This is one I think I've been wanting to try for years since I joined Scentsy. This is Slide into a sweet and cozy cloud of sugared lavender, marshmallow, and vanilla. This sounds great. And I know this is a favorite of another YouTube friend, Patricia Gates. So this one, I think she has it in her club, if I remember right. This one I'm excited to get my hands on. So Woolly Slippers, that one sounds good. I always like a sweeter lavender. So that is one thing with lavenders. I tend to prefer a sweet lavender myself, and a lot of people seem to. It seems like a lot of folks think they don't like lavender, but then they like it as long as there's like some sweetness with it. So I think that is what Woolly Slippers might be, and I'm hoping that for all of our sakes, that is what it is. The other one we have here is the last one, and this is another one voted on or brought back by Dan, the CEO. This is Yuzu Dragon, and it's a bright, like neon pinky coral wax. It is a burst of fruit that simply sparkles. Fresh guava and honeyed nectarine spiked with exotic dragon fruit and yuzu. This one sounds very summery and very citrusy. So guava, nectarine, dragon fruit, and yuzu. So yuzu is like a sharp, very potent citrus. Guava is a tropical fruit, nectarine, and dragon fruit. This should be good. It's going to be tropical. It's going to be a little bit citrusy. That should be good. So Yuzu Dragon. So that is the lineup as a whole. So we have a couple summery scents. If you're a summer fan, I think you're going to be looking at Yuzu Dragon, Summer Sippin', Posy Peach, and Orange Dreamsicle, and probably Key Lime Pie, and Bergamot and Solar Driftwood. Other than that, it's looking largely cool weather friendly. Thunderstorm is on the summer side as well, I would say, but you could warm that any time really. Other than that, excuse me, I think it's looking mostly all season or kind of fall wintry. If I had to pick a few that I'm most excited for, I think they're gonna Banana Nut Bread would be one because it's such a great set. I think that's one of the highlights of this list. I have it in my club already, so I'm good. But for me, the ones I'm most excited for are Berry Tart with the pastry, caramel, and berries, Mandarin Toffee Treat, Pumpkin Tiramisu, Woolly Slippers, Cranberry Spice, and probably Cherry Clove Chutney. That one sounds really good too. And I also am very intrigued to try the Bergamot and Solar Driftwood because I've heard so many good things about it. So it does sound like a fresh scent that probably isn't one that I would warm every day, but it does sound like one that I think I would like to try for sure. So I will be ordering the early access consultant kit to sniff these all for you, give you first sniff impressions, and then warm them and let you know how they perform, hopefully before they launch on January 1st. Hopefully. A couple just like notes about this round, like just some chatter. I guess I noticed when we were in voting in July that eggnog and gingerbread hugs were in the top 25 for quite a bit of it. So I was a little bit worried that we were going to have eggnog and gingerbread hugs in this Bring Back My Bar round. And I kind of hoped that they wouldn't be, because we do have gingerbread hugs and eggnog back right now. So I really hoped that they wouldn't be available now and then available again in January, and they're not. So that's nice. So I'm not sure if eggnog and gingerbread hugs made it into the top 20, 25 in the end. But if they did, it sounds like they may have taken them out, and I'm glad that they did if that's the case. I'm not sure if that is the case. But if they did make it in, I'm glad they did take them out, because we get other scents now instead than ones we already just have. So I like that. I am sad to see Farmhouse Fir not on this list. Farmhouse Fir had been dancing in the top 25 for most of the voting, so I was sad to see it didn't make the list. That was such a good one, and oh, I cannot wait to get that one in my club one day. One of these rounds, we're gonna get Farmhouse Fir back. That one is such a good one. But yeah, let us know in the comments below, which ones in here were you hoping would be back that aren't, and which ones are you thrilled about that are in this list? Let me know in the comments below. And these are, like, for a few rounds there, we were getting really kind of bitter about how a lot of the same scents kept coming back. And they were popular scents, but they would come back every couple rounds. So now we have a list here of scents that, for the most part, are brand new to, like, newer consultants. Like, I'm, 3 years in, and I've only tried a few of these ones. So it is a list of mostly new scents to a lot of us, especially if we haven't been around as long. So if you have been around longer and tried some of these older scents, let us know in the comments below what they're like for you and what you remember of them. And yeah, give us your opinions on them. Other than that, hope you are having a great week, and I will talk to you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.